In the heart of the dense, foreboding forest, where ancient trees loomed like silent sentinels, I found myself enveloped in an eerie silence that seemed to suffocate the very air around me. The canopy overhead blocked out most of the sunlight, leaving the forest floor shrouded in a perpetual gloom that stirred a sense of unease in the pit of my stomach. I ventured deeper into the tangled maze of trees, each step echoing ominously in the stillness. The foliage rustled with a life of its own, whispering secrets that only the forest seemed privy to. As I pushed forward, the air grew colder, despite the warmth of the day, sending shivers cascading down my spine. A distant rumble of thunder reverberated through the forest, accompanied by an ominous darkening of the sky. A storm was brewing, casting an even more sinister pall over the woods. I quickened my pace, hoping to find my way out before the tempest unleashed its fury. But the forest had other plans. The trees seemed to rearrange themselves, the once familiar path now a labyrinth of twisting roots and gnarled branches. Panic clenched at my chest as I realized I was lost, entangled in a web of towering trees that seemed to shift and move as if possessed by a malevolent force. A chill wind swept through the canopy, carrying with it a chorus of unearthly whispers that skittered along the edges of my consciousness. My heart pounded in my ears as I stumbled upon a clearing, a small glade bathed in an eerie light that seemed to emanate from nowhere. In the center of the clearing stood a solitary oak, its gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal fingers against the darkening sky. A sense of foreboding washed over me as I approached the ancient tree, its bark etched with strange, runic symbols that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. As the first raindrops began to fall, I sought refuge beneath the oak's sprawling branches. But as I huddled against the rough trunk, a cold hand clamped down on my shoulder, sending a jolt of terror coursing through my veins. I turned, expecting to see another lost soul seeking shelter from the storm. Instead, I was met with an apparition, a spectral figure cloaked in tattered garments, its eyes empty voids that seemed to pierce through my very soul. Its ghastly visage contorted into a grotesque semblance of a smile, and a hollow whisper echoed in the confines of my mind. Frozen in terror, I watched as more shapes emerged from the shadows,
each one more horrifying than the last. They encircled me, their haunting moans blending with the howling wind. The forest itself seemed to come alive, the trees swaying in a macabre dance to a tune only they could hear. Desperate to escape, I stumbled backward, only to find myself ensnared in a tangle of roots that rose from the earth, their twisted forms snaking around my limbs like serpents. I screamed, but the sound was swallowed by the cacophony of the storm and the haunting cries of the forest. Just when I thought I would succumb to the horrors before me, a blinding light pierced through the darkness. The apparitions recoiled, hissing in agony as the light grew brighter, bathing everything in its radiant glow. I awoke with a gasp, drenched in sweat, lying amidst the undergrowth. The storm had passed, and the sun cast its gentle rays through the canopy above. Trembling, I scrambled to my feet, my heart still racing from the vivid nightmare. Though I knew it was only a dream, the memory of that haunting forest and its spectral inhabitants would linger, a chilling reminder of the ancient and unseen forces that dwell within the depths of the woods.